Actually, Captain's Log 2.2, 2:38 a.m. Saturday, London time. I realized in telling some of the one of the stories something. So that girl from that story that I just told, I found out like later, like a few years later, that she passed away. Right. And the way I found out is I was being a little Facebook creep, just looking at like cute girls are friend with cute girls. I don't know. Facebook was leading me. I blame Facebook. Fuck it, right? Some cute girl's profile picture, and her profile picture said there was this girl, the girl that I told a story about, um, and a picture of her and the girl, and it said the caption was, something like, it wasn't RIP, but something in heaven, and like an angel in heaven now, or something. I don't know what it said, but it was like in memoriam of kind of thing. I was like, what? Is she dead? What the fuck? She was cool. I mean, I hadn't seen her like afterwards as well. That was a one night thing, right? It's called, what is a one night stand or whatnot. But like, saw her later too, and she, it was cool. She's a cool girl. What? She's dead? And then go to her Facebook page, and it became an in memoriam page. And I didn't know about in memoriam pages until I saw this one. She was young too. She's only like 22. She's much younger than me at the time too. Keep in mind, this is years ago. I think it was 26 or something. Um, that's probably the biggest differential I've ever had. Uh, I don't think I could date a girl under than 20, younger than 25 at my age, 32. Not even just because of the age gap, just because I remember how girls were at 25. I remember how I was at 25. I don't think I could. I mean, age is just a number. Sure, people are different. Some are, much different at 25 than I was, right? Or than most girls are. Everybody's different. I get that. But even though I don't really do these dating apps, I am set up with these dating apps. And I always put the filter. So I'm 32, always put the filter 26 to 33. Yeah, nobody asked, but But anyway, so yeah, so she passed away. OD, turns out, found out online, Google her name, news article about it. Very sad, right? But the reason I want to bring this up, there's not just to kind of acknowledge that, because it felt wrong to bring up a story about a girl that passed away and not say like RIP. So that's why I'm doing this 2.2 vlog. But also, it occurred to me right after that, I was having a cigarette, that this story I was telling about 4 years ago too, when I got arrested and all that. That night that I got arrested, or that morning, it was like 5 a.m. I wholly believed that my ex, I don't want to get into details because it sounds so crazy. We can talk about it. I will always get into details when if they will ask about this, right? But I don't have to sound too crazy, because I plan on posting this, right, on and I don't delete what I post. Like on Twitter, for instance, I made a commitment not to delete what I post, because there's no hiding on Twitter. So I've hidden shit like Zanga. It's hidden. It's not deleted. Um, so it's archived, and what else? Like other videos like this. The one more I did once posted to Vimeo. It's not deleted, just hidden. But I don't want to hide shit. I want to put shit out there and not be. I don't want to be. I don't want to be, and to most degree, aren't one of those people that's so self-conscious about what other people think of them or how this might affect my career. Something to think about is that after the first board meeting I was at, one of the investors like Twitter requested me, and if anyone knows my Twitter, it is fucking garbage, dude. Like, it's bad. Like, whew. So fortunately that's private, but it made me, it was a moment, right, where I realized I gotta start acting a little bit different, or at least not tweeting the garbage I used to tweet. And it's such garbage, I should just throw it in the trash, right? But no, I made a commitment that I'm not going to. And, it was who I was or how I was in those times, not even that long ago, to be honest. And that's still in me too, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I'm right back there, probably doing the same stuff, such stuff. But it's also very hard to, so basically the long story short is I wholly believe that she sacrificed herself for me. Okay. Like wholly believe. Then I went to, then I was in jail, whatever. The 45 days later, get out of hospital, find out Donald Trump's elected, that whole story. So, and this ex of mine, she would reach out every like maybe let's say like 3 months or so, right? And a couple of times we hung out, I think we probably hung out like maybe I would say in the, what was that? I was 28 when this happened. We broke up when I was 25. In the 3 years between us breaking up and this time that I thought she's, this election day, 2016, we probably hung out maybe close to a dozen, maybe not exactly a dozen times. Never hooked up all the times except the last time. The last time we did hook up, I did. And, it's the first time I've gone back to, I've hooked up with a girlfriend after we broken up. First time backslid like that. And part of the reason is that it was such a situation where it almost felt like cruel not to, but it wasn't a pity fuck either. I wanted it as well. Obviously, I still loved her in the way that I believe I still love all my exes, shout out to all my exes. But she was different because she was mental like me. She was bipolar like me. I'll just say it, bipolar 1 as well, right? And, if me saying I'm bipolar 1, it will affect me negatively in my life because I'm mixing up a vlog where I was talking about a board meeting with me talking about getting arrested, with me talking about being bipolar 1, with me talking about taking LSD, with me talking about hooking up with a girl, with me talking about God knows what, right? Mixing it all up in together, right? Dropping company name even, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but whatever, it's on my LinkedIn. Mixing it all up together. But if it were to ever affect me in my career, fuck it. I want to be the kind of person. What if I just want to be an example of a bipolar 1 person that was still successful. That didn't commit suicide. That's what first success, right? So after this, and I remember, I think shortly before I got arrested, I was crazy. I was off out there. I think I called her a couple of times, maybe, right? Because, we had that connection. And she always had like my number blocked, right? Which is not unusual, no biggie. But then she would always reach out to me, right? She controlled the reach out, always. But was always good about, well, not, I would say good, maybe not the appropriate, but always, like reliably reach out every, so often. We hang out every so often. And then I always hit up my girlfriends. I don't hit up, I text, right? Like a girlfriend, shoot them a message on their birthdays, right? So shout out birthday on her, message on her birthday. Didn't hear anything, right? Which was, I thought, odd. And then I was like, maybe she just has my number blocked or whatever still. Shot her an email or something as well, right? Just happy birthday, simple, in case my number was blocked. And or maybe it was Facebook. One of the years it was a Facebook, one of the years it was email. Then the next year, call her, and what happened? I called her, and it was like, this number's been disconnected or something. Maybe that was the first year. Whatever, right? Then the third year, I reach out and text, and somebody says, this isn't her. Oh, sorry, thanks for letting me know. And I think that's really suspicious. And all this time, I'm very like, why hasn't she reached out to me like she usually does, right? And this is now all this time over 3 years. But I also understand that like maybe she found somebody, but maybe she's on her way to marrying somebody, and like I'm just that ex, and I just need to be out of her life. And don't try and creep in, like don't be like that. It's okay to reach out on birthdays, I think, but that's about it. So that's really all I did for 3 years, right? Um, and then 3.5 years later or something, I remember even saying to my mom, like, Jessica may be dead. Oh, fuck, I shouldn't use names. But whatever, I said that. I thought that for a while, I said it a while back, right? And then something came up. I was talking to Izzy, and he was there. He knows the story. And then after I said, I got to check something, she came up. And then after the call, I checked. And I checked before, didn't find anything. I guess I just didn't check well enough. Obituary, right? Name, city, county. City didn't, but county, name, birthday. Very common name, so I had to be like county, even common name in the county kind of thing. So obituary, and lo and behold, she passed away like 4 years ago or whatever. But when she really passed away, the actual date was 10 days to the day after I got arrested, after that election day. November 18th is when she died, apparently. I got arrested November 8th, and November 8th is when I thought she sacrificed herself for me or whatever. Like, so that, can you understand like how I don't think, even if I don't think that that was actually the case, right? I'm not saying that. I don't know what I think. It's just crazy that I would think 10 days before she passed away that I was wholly convinced she just sacrificed herself for me. And then I don't find out till 4 years later that 10 days after, I thought that with all of my beings, to such a degree, it's even hard to shake the belief, because you believe it so strongly that, like, even in retrospect, as crazy it sounds, how real it felt. Or the 10 days later, it turns out she did actually pass away. How? I don't know. Do I assume? Yes. But do I know? No. So, and that's on death, dude. On also, at least recently. And I realized whether it's your funeral or whether it's your wedding, whatever it is, right? And the funeral, back to the funeral story 2.0 or 2.1 or whatever it is, man. People's just it's their stories that they remember. What they remember is the stories that they shared with you. Your stories, as in you and them. Your guys' stories is what people remember. So on the topic of stories, just bringing it full circle to the first part of this. And those stories can be crazy. And if you believe in like serendipity, like I do, you maybe get caught up in, whoa, this is a crazy coincidence after this or that, and you just maybe make too much of. Maybe I make too much of coincidences. That's definitely something that could be leveled against me as and I'd accept as true. I do make a lot out of coincidences. Not because I don't believe in coincidences, but because I really believe in serendipity too, right? They both can exist and are mutually exclusive. And something like Mel's story, right, is very serendipitous. The fact she left the phone in his car and all that after an amazing day already, just the cherry on top type thing, right? You can't plan for that. And that's a story that, even no matter if they were to get married and live happily ever after, I mean, that's a story that, he or she are going to tell at the funeral type thing. Like if you didn't listen to the previous thing, everything I'm saying here is like, where are you even coming from with this? But yeah, and what's your story, Morning Glory? I don't even know if I like that song. I can't even play it in my head. I don't even know how it goes, but somehow some things just like stick, right? Quotes. Mel had a good quote, and I'll end it on a good quote that is in my hand. I'll do like American History X, right? So earlier I ended on some self-plagiarization, but American History X has a great ending scene where he says somebody else has always said it better than you, sort of thing. So makes sense to end with a quote. Obviously, that's not quoted verbatim, but if you've seen American History X, you remember, you know what I'm going on about. So I'll end it with a quote, courtesy of Melody. Shout out. They slipped briskly into an intimacy from which they never recovered. F. Scott Fitzgerald. She mentioned what book it was from, but I forget. And I'll repeat. They slip briskly into an intimacy from which they can never recover. They slip briskly into an intimacy from which they never recovered. So cheers to that. And what I will say also, I guess I'm not ending after all, is that my whole life I've been very big on like love and relationships and all that. When you strip away the material world, really what's left but like nature and like relationships, and tell me more, what more is there? But what I realized in the last few years is, I've been getting better and better at being single, right? And not like needing to like, not thinking so much about love. It's not that I've never stopped thinking about it, but I'm not thinking so much about it, right? And just thinking more about like my life, right, than love, right? And love hopefully will be a big part of my life, right? It has been a big part of my life, but right now it's more about like life and like the foundation I'm building, and what life I want to lead, even if I never find love. I lead a life I love, even if I never find that lover or whatever, right? So with or without the love of my life, I will love my life, right? And that's what I've been working on the last 4 years, basically since that incident, since I got released. Maybe not since I got released, there's a little bit of a transitionary period there, but basically since I started this job. And it's been a very solo life. I mean, last 9 months I've been working from home in London, a city I don't know, where I don't know many people. Prior to that, I was working from home in Santa Clara, right, for like a year. Prior to that, I was commuting from Santa Clara to San Francisco and wasn't dating then either, right? I wasn't going to date somebody in San Francisco when I got to commute back to San Jose. I mean, one of the few times I went drinking in San Francisco and came back to San Jose and I get a DUI, which is another story I already told. 1.2 log. Or was I going to date somebody in San Jose when I was constantly coming back from San Francisco late? Like it just wasn't happening, bro. It wasn't in the cards. I wasn't trying to make it happen because I just realized it wouldn't work, and why bother, and why just focus on yourself, bro. So the last 3 years, that's 3.5 years now. That's really what I've been doing. And fortunately, it's been working. It hasn't been easy. It's been working. And what I can say is where it hasn't been working for me is I haven't really been creative. You know, when you're solo, you need to be a little bit of an artist, right? And I haven't been, and that's what this is about. So to that, I hope I slip briskly into this art form, or if not this art form, some art form of self-expression from which I'll never recover. Cheers. Peace out. Do good. Much love.